I sold partly because I was like, well, there's a chance I'm going to have to leave this space anyway, which who knows if I'm going to find a spot within a, 2 to 5 mile radius. Who knows if it's going to be as good. So here's this offer. I'm not going to re-sign. I may as well take it, but again, one of the, I get asked frequently about selling, and, I try to be positive and think that it was a good thing. And ultimately I'm very satisfied with it, but it is something where in retrospect, I'm like, was it the right decision? And I think, I started my affiliate in 2007, and, being at the games a couple weeks ago, and we see a lot of people from that era, call it like the 2007 to 2009 ish era,
Hmm.
like early adopters,
Hmm.
right before the games skyrocketed. So you're still this underground thing. You're still doing it for the love of fitness because you want, for a lot of us, like looking for a change in the fitness world. But now we're seeing so many of those boxes selling and super excited about it. And my attitude towards them, and I think you probably are similar, is like, why'd you sell? You had this thing that was making money. It can continue to make money. You can basically be hands off or show up when you want to show up, not when you have to show up, and pay yourself while letting someone else run the thing. And we can talk about why some box runners don't like that idea because like it's my baby and I won't be able to do that. Well, making $5,000 a month for doing nothing sounds a lot cooler than being super concerned that it's your baby.
Yeah. Just and so we can have a little bit of a nuanced conversation here. There's multiple different scenarios in here with selling a box. So there's the ideal, which is like I sell it for a massive profit, meaning I put a certain amount into it and I sold for X what I put into it, right? Just like, and that's probably more along the lines of your initial sell. We could both agree that those are in the very, very small minority. The second one is I sell for a pretty good margin, meaning like I sell for probably something that looks like, I don't know, let's call it 75 to 200K, right? That's you walk away and you're like pretty like that's good. That gives me probably a 2 or 3 year buffer on income. Like that's fantastic. Good for you.
And I think that's probably where most boxes are falling. Like I was an outlier. Like
I actually disagree. I think there's a handful that fall there, right? And then some of them, and yeah, in that middle bucket, right? And then there's the lower bucket, which I think the vast majority of them sell. At least like it from the tons and tons of people that I talk to that sold box, they don't fall there. Like when I hear somebody, I'm like, good for you. Like, great. That's fantastic. Sometimes I do get a little peek underneath the hood of those. And I'm like, ugh. I'm like, good for you for selling. But the person that bought it, I don't think they got the best deal based on that. Right now, I think everybody else, right? So let's call those 15% between those two right there. Probably that might be high. I don't know. But the vast majority of them are selling for way less than that. And that's really not a sell. That's not a sell for profit. Like you basically trying to recoup your cost.
yeah.
Right. I got this car. It's a beater now. I'm trying to just get what I can for it and get out of there. And this is not a shot at anybody, but it does pose a question, which is like for that huge portion of people, my question is, why is the best day of that gym owner's life the day they sell their box? Right. Meaning, and the reason it is the best day is because they've relieved themselves of a massive amount of stress, which is a problem because this is also not to suggest that you shouldn't be super happy if you sell your, like you should be over the moon if you sell your box and you get a ton of money for it. Like that is a good thing. That's the whole premise behind Built to Sell. You should do that. Whether you decide to sell it or not is completely up to you and what you want for your life. I'm not here to tell you what that is, but that's not the majority. It's just not. Like I'm just telling you it's not. The vast majority of people are trying to relieve themselves of a massive amount of stress. And what I want it to be is just like, I don't want the best day of your life to be when you sell the gym. Even if you sell for massive profit, I think realistically, like if you love that thing, like it should be a little sentimental. You should be kind of upset about it. Right? I'm not saying you should like not do it and like not take $1,000,000 if somebody's going to give it for you. You should definitely do that. But it shouldn't be like, I can't wait to get rid of this thing. Like that's what I want to talk about. Whereas like why? And for some of these people, you're talking about like really good trainers, right? Like, why is a really good trainer relieved to get rid of this thing that they love? Like, that just doesn't make sense.